All right, we're back with FF7. I think we won't be doing the Wutai side quest here. It's mostly because I don't do it all that often, so I think I'll take a while finding things, and I'd rather not slow down with it. Also, I don't deem it super necessary. It's got some interesting stuff. Wutai is a place that Shinra invaded. The big war that they've talked about throughout the game was against Wutai, the one that Elmira, Eris's mom's husband, was at. So it is very important to the kind of the world we're in, and you see a place that has essentially dealt with being colonized by Shinra. So I think that's important and interesting. But the side quest itself, I don't really feel like doing right now. We might get to it later. I think we probably will do it at some point, but not right now. So as is, this new means of transportation can only go in light blue sea, and that gives us some access to the world, but it's pretty incomplete access. And we're supposed to be finding the Temple of the Ancients. Now, I believe we also have access to this city, but we'll be going there later, or this town. Um, if you go to the Gold Saucer, I think, and go find Dio there, that's probably later. I feel like he gives some information about where the Temple of the Ancients is. But really, we have to traverse the whole world to go find it, which lets us see Midgar again. And I think it can be nice for the game to force you into an exploration mode after it's had kind of mini exploration so far. Feels very much like, when you first get a boat in the early Final Fantasy games and suddenly the world has opened up and you have no idea where you're going and you kind of pick a direction or you hug the coast until you find something new. And that's this moment for this game. We can see the place where Chocobo Farm was. Ooh, we could go fight. Let's get revenge against Midgar who we fought earlier. I think if we can't beat it now, I will be without preparation. I will be deeply ashamed. Hey, buddy, over here. Did you find me? There you go. Let's see if we have grown in stature. Good way to test ourselves. We're going to use bio because it is weak to bio. I think stealing's pretty pointless from it. And yes, we should be healing Tifa. She only takes 200 damage because she's in the back row. Again, I'd really like to get poison on it. I might wait to get poison because if you put it in its second phase, but we shouldn't have to be careful here. We should be able to just beat it. There we go. Now, even if it boots some members from the battle, we'll have a good chance because it will automatically be taking damage even if we happen to be put on full-time healing. And that already did a ton of damage, so now it's in its second part where it's going to start booting characters. And it boots Cloud. No, it doesn't boot Cloud in the fight. But it might boot one of our characters out of the fight. But it is, at this point, really nice to have. We're just going to stay healed. Just the steady 125 damage coming if you're fighting it properly. Because that hits 16 times, that's the death. And you just have to stay, you know, if it knocks out two of your characters, if you get in trouble, you still can do things. So it's booting Cloud. That's a shame, because Cloud's the one we really wanted to learn enemy skill. Because, yeah, now it uses beta immediately after, and that's gonna hurt, and Cloud won't learn it. I think we put enemy skill on someone else. Nope, that's game over. I did not prepare properly. Well, that's fun. Midgar Zolom still beat me. Now, the game does an interesting thing there. It doesn't give you the full game over, which is kind of generous. But oh man, I got wrecked. All right, well, we'll keep dodging Midgar Zolom. That's a lot of damage. So normally you'd put elemental and fire on defense, but I didn't bother to do that because I didn't think this was dangerous. Oh dear. I wonder if I came closer to beating Midgar Zolom the first time around than this time. That must not be true. It must have been fairly close to dead. But oh dear. Oh, and the reason it's not a game over is because Cloud wasn't knocked out. So the game is sort of doing something clever there. It is making sure you have a character alive, before it boots you so that the game does show you, ooh, this thing's really powerful, but also make sure it doesn't, like, if you haven't saved, you don't just lose a ton of progress. Actually, I think that's really clever. I think that's really clever because an enemy like that, you you want the player to be able to realize, oh shit, I can't fight that. Incidentally, we can't get to this town yet, but if you fought enemies here, they would be Disc 2 enemies and you could level up pretty quickly. Yeah, so the game doesn't want you wants you to be able to see something really powerful, but doesn't want you to be able to lose all your progress on it. Therefore, it gives it a move that appears very annoying, but in fact saves you from having your progress lost. Oh, this game, they did some things right. They did some things right. And I think we have made it. We have gone as far around the world as we can, and I have found the Temple of the Ancients. So let's explore. Pretty visually obvious this is going to be a temple of some kind. And this is a moment when I think these enemies start putting us in berserk, right? Yeah. So we basically don't berserk and poison. And so we no longer control Tifa, but she does huge damage. So these are like the kind of status effect enemies of the game. I think they also have decent dodge, but I could be wrong there. Again, can't control Tifa's actions. But luckily now Tifa Berserk makes your character do double damage, I think, but only be able to attack. So now Tifa also they're flying enemies, so she's getting double damage from that. So Tifa is just complete powerhouse against these. Now, Temple of the Ancients, I think, is a really interesting dungeon for a whole bunch of reasons. And yeah, this is a part of the game that is quite ambitious in a whole number of different ways. And so hopefully I'll be able to celebrate quite how much the game is doing here. Though we might not be able to get in yet. I might have done a stupid. I think I did a stupid. Yeah. We are supposed to go to the gold saucer first. Yeah. Well. At least we had the fun of losing to midgar zolom again. Alright, so we're gonna head to the golden saucer. I forgot the order on this. Uh, and the game is in kind of open up exploration to you. But I think that's a place plausible to head to if you don't know where you're going. We also, I think at this point, if I briefly land, if you check this second trip to the Gold Saucer, we will have 30,000 gil. So the game has done a nice job of figuring the first time you go there, you're going to have 3,000 gil. You'll be able to buy a one-time pass. The second time you go, you can buy the lifetime pass and not have to worry about it again. On the other hand, will we be going to the Gold Saucer 10 more times this playthrough? If I was like a side quest person, and sometimes I am, hmm, are we a side quest person? I'm really not sure. I think the answer is probably no. Because if we are going to go there 10 more times and I just buy the lifetime pass later, so I should probably just buy the lifetime pass, keep it simple. But tempted to try to skimp money, but it's not like money's hard to come by. We will buy the lifetime pass. I always like going over the sort of the corners here because the corners are still passable, and so when I'm driving this around, that gives me some amusement to do. And we are slowly making our way back round. Sorry about my circuitous route. Maybe we come. This was very inefficient. I guess we're gonna try to get back to our buggy, and we'll take that back to the gold saucer, and then we'll do another lap of the world. You know what? We're gonna use fast forward. I think I've avoided it until now, but this seems like the right time to do some fast forwarding. And the buggy is on the other side of Nibelheim. Can we get to it over here? I think so. Nope, we can't. All right. That's sweet. Fast forward, and there we go. All right. A little more fast forward. Doop, doop, doop. Huh. For once, Tifa's taking full damage. Ooh, I wonder what put her in sadness. This is the only enemy we fought, so it must be that these enemies' attacks put people in sadness. On the other hand, sadness is a great stat. Maybe I should have been intentionally putting on Tifa. Specifically, I think for her, it lowers your limit break gain, but I don't care about her limit break. I mean, at this point, I obviously should. I just don't because I don't love the slots. Um, but later, I won't have any interest in her limit breaking. And this does mean she takes less damage. And if she's covering for everyone else and then taking reduced damage, that's obviously valuable in terms of staying alive. Sorry about the going the wrong way first. There's a whole bunch about to happen. I think if we look at this one, let's think about what we've been through. We started in Midgar, and we met much of the cast, and saw a whole lot with Shinra. Saw the buildup of Sephiroth and Genova and Hojo and Rufus and the previous president of Shinra. I don't think we fought these yet, so we will do. They have Stone Stair, which puts us in a countdown to being petrified, but hopefully we finish the fight before we are fully petrified. Ah, and she has counterattack. Nice when counterattack went off. I think that might be the first time it's gone off. Or one of the first times, because we have this cover a counterattack combination now on Tifa. And then we sort of, the world opened up, and we went to Calm. And once we hit Calm, there's not much story for a while. So that's when the game took the opportunity to say, there's not going to be much story, so now we're going to have flashbacks about Sephiroth. And Calm is these full lengthy flashback sequence. And that's where we get the whole Nibelheim history. And we get it with a nice, I think it's well spaced in the game. It does take a while, but I think it's at a moment of calm, in the town of Calm. I think we've fought these, but we'll fight them again. And then we have the Midgar Zolom, and we go to Fort Condor for that weird little mini game. And we do Junin, where like we see Rufus and Heidegger, but there's not a lot happening in Junin. Like we see a few things that are important. We see an airship. We get to ride a dolphin. We do CPR. But I think mostly this part of the game is kind of doing okay. The world has opened up a bit. We're gonna let you kind of explore a bit and not feel a rush to throw big things at you. And then we cross the sea and we fight a Genova boss on the ship, so we get a sighting of Genova and or Sephiroth. We're going to take the ride from Coral again to get there. I think that's the only way to get to the Gold Saucer. And then, what happens then? Everyone here still hates Barrett. Once we cross the sea, we come to Costa del Sol. We get another sighting of Hojo. We're making sure to have sightings of various villains. Like right after on the Midgar Zolom, as we go through the cave after, we see the Turks. So everyone, they're making, in Gongaga, which we get shortly after Costa del Sol, we see Scarlet and Heidegger. We're regularly getting sightings of each of the characters we need to have in our mind. It's not doing like, here's 6 times in a row with the same characters. Each time we're returning to a different important character in the world's universe. Like, we've seen Hojo again, we've seen the Turks again, we see them in Gongaga as well. Yeah, I gotta buy my ticket. We will go the lifetime pass. Alright, just to not have to worry about it. Come and go freely as long as we don't lose it. That's ominous. Here at the Gold Saucer, yep, we know what GP is. Then we head to Coral and we get Barrett's backstory. And we go to the Gold Saucer, which is in effect more of Barrett's backstory, right? So we have a whole bunch of Barrett's backstory. And then we go to Cosmo Canyon and we get Nanaki's backstory. And then we go to Nibelheim where we get like a little bit of Cloud and Tifa. Not that much, but it's clearly important for them. We're going to Dio's showroom. I think that's where the key to the Temple of the Ancients is. Can I look at it? The Keystone. There's some clues to come here. I forget where they are, so we're just, coming here. Hey, Dio, how's the muscles working for you? Long time no see, my boy. You like that, huh? I got it from the guy in that little shack that's south of here, past the river. Ah, yes, that house I said was important for some side quest or whatever reason. If we went there, we'd get the clue to come here. If you want to know about it, go there and talk to him. Can you let me borrow this? Sorry, but it's not for rent. Since you've been good to me in the past, meaning we didn't get too pissed when you arrested us, I can let you have it on one condition. One condition. Entertain me. What do you want me to do? Oh boy. It's not something that's really difficult. This is the battle arena. Show me your fighting skills. Just you, my boy. I'm expecting a good fight. So now the battle arena has opened. You can now use it for the rest of the game. And it is a place that is sort of a fun test of skills and also has very nice rewards. It's where Cloud's final limit break is set, and Cloud's final limit break is a very powerful move. And it sort of has 8 stages, and after each stage, you get handicaps that make the future stages harder. You can back out at any time, but you get, basically you double your points every round you do, if not more. So you really want to be able to do the whole thing repeatedly if you want to amass serious points. The bigger the handicaps you get, the more points you get. So when I say double, that's not necessarily true every round. But for this part, I think we're going to try to beat the first fight, and then we're going to back out because it is the early game, and we are not strong enough to beat all of these fights. I don't know how far it's possible or easy to go this early in the game, but maybe we could beat 2 or 3 fights. Maybe we should try. But per usual, I am not fussed about stuff that is optional or stuff that is I don't know. I have this attitude towards games. I quite like a challenge. I think challenges are good. Games like the Shin Megami Tensei games, I really enjoy the difficulty of them. But, Nocturne, for instance. But, great, no way. And we stop there. But if the challenge is optional, I tend not to go out of my way for it. I want it to be kind of well integrated into the core of the game or not, or be side quests at the end when I'm like, okay, I can beat the game. I want to test even more. What can we do? What can the game challenge me with? And sort of as I'm doing the story, I tend to have relatively minimal interest in side quests. Curious if other people here are similar to that or feel completionist. I've had phases where I wanted to just do everything when it is, but I find when I do that, when I make sure I get everything I can get at a given time, I get kind of bored with the game and I'm stopped playing it the way I enjoy. And once I sort of relaxed and said, just do whatever you want. If that part looks fun, go do it. If that doesn't feel fun to you right now, completely forget about it. I started having significantly more ability to stay engaged in games. That's the best you could do. Well, promise is a promise. Go ahead, take it. Alright, we got the keystone. Well then, we shall meet again. Alright, well, we disappointed Dio, and now we can go off on our way. And, guess we'll head to the station. And leave. If the game lets us. Which I feel like it won't. Excuse me, sir. I didn't even press to talk to them. I'm sorry, this tram is out of order right now. So? I'm really sorry. I'm afraid you won't be able to leave until it's fully repaired. What's wrong? Says sirsmokes. Too bad. It happens, though. I know. Let's stay at the hotel. They know me here. I'll go talk to them. It's a good tourist trap, right? You show up, their tram stops working, you have to stay the night. Hotel's gonna get business. I will let you know once the repairs are completed. Aw, shucks. And we're at the hotel. We don't usually get the chance to be together like this, huh? This is sort of like last time we had this was at the fire at Cosmo Canyon, but notably, Vincent and Sid were not yet party members. Also, we didn't have ghosts playing a chess game. Cloud, how about it? Can you tell us what's happened so far? I don't really know what's going on, because I wasn't here in the beginning. Yeah, I'm all for it. Good idea. Yep, and Kate Sith wasn't here, of course. So all the characters that weren't here, very into it. Good job giving those characters lines there. But I think everyone's gonna get a line, but specifically those three. I've been here since the beginning, and I still don't know what the hell's going on either. Cloud, the hell's going on? Come on, tell us. Alright, we're definitely going to hear Cloud's recap of events. I sort of was just giving a recap, though it wasn't really of the story, it was kind of the ebbs and flows of the game. By the way, I love the face in the background, the red face with the eyes looking at us, and the devil nose, the devil face. That's really good. Um, and I forgot to finish that. So the game, I think, starts really big, lots of big events in Midgar, lots of important things happening, lots of characters being set up. Then it hits a calm, but calm gives us some really important backstory. But then it's kind of a little slower, some side stories, just making sure we're seeing each of the important characters in the story with some regularity until we hit Coral. And then it goes, it's Barrett backstory time. And then we hit Cosmo Canyon, and it goes, it's Nanaki backstory time. And then, and we also get Vincent. Then we get Vincent, and we also get to go to the location where Cloud and Tifa are from, and see those weird things going reunion. And then we go to Rocket Town, where we get Sid backstory, and Sid joins. One of the few times where the character joins in the section where they have their backstory, which is very traditionally in like RPGs and games like this in the previous FFs. You go to a place, you meet a new character, and you get their backstory dumped there. And often that means for the rest of the game, they're kind of playing second fiddle. They're not that important because they already had the section devoted to them as they joined. And I do generally prefer to have them join and then later you get the section devoted to them where you kind of learn what they're about and can review the previous scenes with a new understanding from that. And we had that with Barrett, and we had that with Nanaki, and we may have that with other characters. On the other hand, Sid is mostly a personality character, so I'm fine with that happening there, and I will enjoy his personality for the rest of the game, especially when he's not being an abusive asshole to Shara. So, and then the world opens up. And now you have time to explore the world if you want, and as we continue the story, now some more really big things are gonna start happening. So let's hear Cloud's recap. But what I wanted to talk about was the pacing of the game and how I think kind of the biggest moment so far was clearly like all the stuff in Midgar, or like you could point to like three moments in Midgar. And then it's done a bunch of things, but they've only been really big moments if you're really invested in the character they were about. And I think now we're going to get into a lot more of the big moments of the broader story. And so let's hear Cloud's recap, give us time to be prepared for that. And it makes sense that this is a moment to give a recap, given that we have been a little more distant from the bigger story for a while now. Phew! We are going after Sephiroth. Sephiroth must be in search of the Promised Land. So are Shinra. The Promised Land? A land full of Mako energy, or at least that's what the Shinra believe. I don't know if it actually exists. The Cetras return to the Promised Land, a land that promises boundless happiness. Cetra? That's some kind of disease. Okay, now I've defended Barrett's questions in the past, but this one is very dumb. He has been here the whole way. But his previous questions, they reacted as if they were dumb, were not dumb questions. This one, very dumb. And if they go, you idiot here, that will be fair. I don't think they should have given him a line this dumb. That's what the ancients call themselves. Hey, didn't you listen to the elders at Cosmo Canyon? You don't know where the promised land of the ancients is. You search and travel until you feel it, like you just know this is the promised land. Eris, can you feel it too? I think so. So Sephiroth is traveling the world because he's searching for the promised land. Is that it? That, and one other thing he's searching for: the black materia. I heard from Dio that a man in a black cape was looking for the black materia. I don't even know what the black cape is. How many men with black capes and number tattoos are there? So the black capes are the people or the things we saw in Nibelheim. You know, of course, my tattoo is number 13. So if they are connected to Nanaki, that tattoo is presumably given by Hojo. Are these something done by, or experiments done by Hojo? How'd you get that tattoo? Hojo put it on me. Everything else is just war scars, but the number was done by Hojo. So there are at least 13. You know, I think Hojo did something to those men in the black capes, but I don't know what it has to do with Sephiroth, though. Now, through Vincent, we know that a Hojo experiment birthed Sephiroth through Lucretia, right? He specifically said he had stuff with Hojo. He wanted to know if we'd find Hojo. And he specifically said Sephiroth was born 5 years ago of Lucretia. Though his time sense might be warped, so we shouldn't hold too strong to that. That's why I think we should just go after Sephiroth himself. Yeah, me too. It's all just too damn confusing. And I'm sorry, forget it. I think I'm tired. I'm going to bed now. What was that all of a sudden? What? That's it? I'm going to bed. Alright, bye, Yuffie. Is that all? How about the black materia? You wouldn't understand even if I told you. Try us though, the viewer. We're not Kate Sith. That's a little rude. All we gotta do is take action. We're starting tomorrow. Also, we clearly don't know what the black materia is. Like, Dio asked if we knew about the black materia, and we said no, and it seemed like we just didn't. So I think Cloud doesn't know what he's talking about, and that's a badly written line. I don't think Cloud knows what the black materia is right now. Cloud, I'm number 13. Am I going to go mad too? Very legitimate thing to be concerned about, and I think smart of the game to notice it. I don't know what Hojo did to you. You've been alright so far, right? But be strong. But I. Stop it, Piggy Man. Be strong. Yeah, Piggy Man. Tifa, you're not the only one who's worried. I don't know what's going on, but we're in a bad situation. Hey, Sid, let's go back to our rooms. Good job, Sid. Way to say I want to know and then promptly fall asleep. Alright, so we gotta spend the night in the Golden Saucer. What will happen here? Alright, fun, like, gothic room. Like the random goth aesthetic. So this is the infamous date scene, where a character comes to your room and you get to go on a date with that character. Date, not necessarily meaning romantic, though all of them will have slightly romantic undertones. Now, the hard ones to get, Barrett is really difficult to get on the date. I think Yuffie is also quite difficult. I think you can only get Yuffie, Barrett, Tifa, or Eris. With Tifa and Eris especially, I think Eris is the easiest to get, but Eris and Tifa very similar, like difficulty to get. Kind of whoever you put in your party more, who you talk to first in scenes, makes it likely you'll get that one. And if you show any preference for either of them, if you're like nice to them in conversations, nicer to them than the other one, but you show any preference for either of them, you will get one of them on the date. However, if you are rude as possible to both, completely avoid both, always have Barrett or Yuffie in your party, do a bunch of things that like on the side raise the like affection stat, you can get the date there, and those are kind of the Easter egg dates that are fun to work for. Based on how I play this game, I almost always end up with Tifa, and we have done so here, which feels realistic to how my playthroughs go. Cloud, what's wrong? I thought about what I was gonna say, but it's kind of embarrassing. Hey, Cloud, why don't the two of us sneak out of here and spend some time together? Come on, let's go. Hey, this is clearly the right way to ask someone out, you know? Tonight's enchantment night. All the attractions are free. Well, they better be if we're trapped here. How about it, you two? It's going to be an entertaining show in Event Square. Come on, let's go. All right, let's do it. Ah, the game even forces me to run there. No choice. Congratulations. You are our 100th couple today. You two will be the leads in tonight's show. What? Oh, now, it's not hard. Just play it however you want to, and the rest of the cast will cover up for you. Now, if you think of someone who'd be good at doing improv, hey, Cloud does not come to mind. Sounds like fun. Come on, Cloud, let's give it a try. Like, Tifa's gonna go along and have a good time and, like, do what she can. But Cloud is a sourpuss dick, right? Real spoil sport energy. And I think this scene understands that fully. Long, long ago, an evil shadow appeared over the peaceful kingdom of Galdea. Princess Rosa was just kidnapped by the evil Dragon King, Valvados. What will become of her? Just then, the legendary hero, Alfred, appears. Great spinning onto scene. Oh, you must be the legendary hero, Alfred. Hey, it's your line. Me? Yeah, you. Ahem. Oh, you must be the legendary hero, Alfred. I know in my soul. Please, please save Princess Rosa. Now, please talk to the king. Great spin by the king. King's a truly elite spinner. Oh, legendary hero Alfred, you have come to save my beloved Rosa. On the peak of a dangerous mountain dwells the evil Dragon King, Valvados, who's kidnapped Princess Rosa. But you can't beat the evil dragon now. Talk to the one who can help you. Nah, I think the wizard had the worst spin yet. Who will you talk to? The knight or the wizard? Clearly we're supposed to talk to the wizard. But who would Cloud want to talk to? You know, I bet you're thinking I think it's the knight, but I think it's the wizard, because the knight has already annoyed Cloud and the wizard hasn't yet. Also, Cloud's not Cloud's not too sharp. Like, he's not thinking of new things on his feet too often. We're gonna talk to the wizard. We're gonna follow direction for the moment. I am the great wizard, Vormon. What do you wish to know? Wow, you have a name starting with a V. Very suspicious. Sure seems like a villain name. Now, is Cloud asking about the princess's measurements? No. No, that ain't Cloud. The evil Dragon King's weakness. I realize I'm not taking the funny options here, but we are playing truly as Cloud. And Cloud's a simpleton, he will play along. Now, I don't think Cloud's that simple, but like, this is Cloud out of his element, right? We all revert to kind of, when we are out of our element, we'll go along and we'll have trouble, we'll feel like we should be thinking of things, and our brains won't help us. So he's just gonna say the generic things so far. Incidentally, I have no plan for how to go through the scene. I'm not trying to like set up a particularly funny conclusion. Normally, I do click kind of the joke options, but I think we're trying to play as proper Cloud. Ah, the weakness of the evil Dragon King. It must be, it must be. Yes, it must be true love. The power of love. It is the only weapon that can withstand the fangs of the evil Dragon King. Oh, what is going to happen next? Oh, legendary hero, look. Oh no. Gah, says the evil Dragon King. I am the evil Dragon King, Valvados. I have not harmed the princess. I have been expecting you. Please help me, legendary hero. See, she goes along. Like that? But she does check in for affirmation. Gah, here I come, legendary hero Alfred. I already know your name. How intimidating. And now, legendary hero, here is what will happen to your beloved. A kiss, the power of true love. Alright, at this point, Cloud is kind of pissed off. I think we all know this. Cloud is only gonna play along so long before wanting to be a spoils, before wanting to just be done with this stupid thing, right? Cloud's a bummer. We gotta understand this about him. Also, girls are kind of embarrassed, right? You can't. You're a Cloud type person. You don't show that you care about people. That's really hard. That's weakness. He's the guy of just give me the money and I'm out of here. I'm not gonna help you. He's changed a bunch. He cares about things. He realizes things are important. But this is frustrating, and he is not gonna play along here. Therefore, we're not picking Kiss the Princess. Now, is Cloud gonna kiss the king? I don't think that's him. I think that we skipped some scenes, but Cloud's probably a little bit homophobic. Like, let's. I think he's gonna kiss the evil Dragon King. Oh, how sweet! He took their hand. What? Erg! Thank you. You've released me from the spell, and I am back to my normal self. Oh, look! Love has triumphed. Now let's all return and celebrate. Yes, let's. Yes, let's. Good spin, Cloud. Oh, how profound the power of love. And so the legendary hero Alfred and our story live on happily ever after. But hey, what is it? That can't be the end. Oh, poor Tifa. I admit, that is not the story she was looking for. That was funny. Hey, let's go on the gondola next. You're right, that was funny. Will you let me control where to go? The answer is no. Two, please. Here you are, 2 tickets. Enjoy the sights of Gold Saucer. Oh, how pretty. I can control Cloud leaning forward, but nothing else. Alright, good to know. Oh no, I can control his head movement. I can look out the window. Look, Cloud. Alright, we'll look. You know, I don't think I've ever moved his head before and gotten that scene. I really don't think I have. Huh. Oh, Cloud. This one I think that. Maybe they all happen? I just don't remember things anymore. But I don't remember that scene of the racing. Huh. Other people that know more about, like, how this game works, I'm curious. It's really pretty, isn't it? Not as pretty as you. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. What? Eris would be able to just come out and say it, probably. Eris does blurt things out more easily than Tifa does. There's a clear difference between between these two women. Sometimes being old friends is hard. I mean, timing is everything. Yeah. Cloud, I. She couldn't do it. Couldn't pull the trigger. To be fair, Cloud is so much more likable than he was at the start of the game. Cloud, I really had fun tonight. By the way, what do you want to say a minute ago? But he's still clueless, and we have to remember Cloud is an idiot. Very important character trait of his. Doesn't mean he can't be sharp at moments, but he's kind of clueless too. Nothing. Nothing. Hmm? Oh, look at the time. We should be getting back. Huh. Someone else is having a good night and looking around furtively. That's sirsmokes. He seems strange. You know what? sirsmokes does seem strange, and that there's a very good chance this is going to be my image for this video. In fact, I will screen grab just that part because I think that would make a good video image. Huh? Is that the keystone? Hey, sirsmokes! sirsmokes runs off. That is very suspicious behavior from sirsmokes. Now, immediately coming to mind, if you remember, when we went to Gungaga, they said the Turks are waiting for us, right? The Turks were waiting. Ooh, that's not a great hiding spot. Um, and we had the impression that someone in our party was spying on us. I think the immediate implication here is maybe we don't trust sirsmokes. He's too quick for me. Too quick. We know that helicopter. Hey, over here, the keystone. And we know that man. Well done. Shit. That's a bummer. Hey, wait a second. I won't run or hide. Yes, I was a spy. I was hired by the Shinra. Don't mess with us. I couldn't help it. How about if we continue like nothing ever happened? That doesn't seem like a great offer. No way, cat. We got a lot of. I like that. No way, cat. One of those lines he's saying to a cat, but would also be a line he could say not to a cat. You got a lot of guts acting like a friend, but being a spy. Then, what are you gonna do? Kill me? You'd just be wasting your time if you tried. This body's just a toy, anyway. My real body's at Shinra headquarters in Midgar. I'm controlling this toy cat from there. So you're from Shinra. Who are you? Whoa, can't tell you my name. We're not getting anywhere. See? I told you. Talking won't do any good, so can't we just continue our journey? No. You think I'm joking? Alright, yes, I am a Shinra employee, but we're not entirely enemies. Something bothers me. I think it's your way of life. You don't get paid, you don't get praised, yet you still risk your lives and continue on your journey. Seeing that it just makes me think about my life. I don't think I'd feel too good if things ended the way they are now. Yeah, because you betrayed us. You're lying again, says Tifa. She's on point. He'll never tell the truth. Once a spy, always a spy. We can't go on with someone like that. Come on, get real. Just as I thought, talking won't make a bit of difference. But I prepared something in case this happened. Why don't you listen to this? Papa, Tifa, Marlene. Hey, it's Tifa. Tifa, help, I'm. So, you have to do as I say. This Kate Sith is this sirsmokes is a bad dude. You're the lowest. I didn't want to do this, using dirty tricks and taking hostages. But this is how it is. No compromises. So why don't we continue on as we did? Bad Kate Sith. Oh, you didn't seem to know this, but the keystone is the key to the Temple of the Ancients. Even so, you're all going, right? I know where it is, so I'll show you later. Again, this dialogue would be a bit different if we had actually done the proper exploration to learn about the Keystone to the Ancients, but shh. The Shinra have already been there, but I guess you have to deal with that. Well, we're stuck. We'll have to do what he says. Marlene. Oh, Barrett would have been big mad if he was here. I don't remember how that part goes if Barrett is your date, but obviously, big mad. Okay, here's the crew. What took you so long, Cloud? Don't talk to me. Oh yeah, about the Temple of the Ancients. I think if we take the tiny Bronco east towards the sea, we should be able to find it. That's not quite how you get there. You have to go like all around the other continent. Telling us it's like on the east side of the map, sure, that's a little helpful, but well then, shall we get going? Who's gonna go? I want to go. I'm going for sure. All right. Well, that's our party. We will of course be bringing Tifa as our third, and yeah, that's our party. Let's give Eris some better equipment. She has the fairy tale. That at least equips a lot. And yeah, we have an extra gold armlet. May as well give it there. And we may as well put on Piggy Man's materia. Poison has been great so far. Revive is worth leveling. We still haven't seen Odin. I should use Odin sometime. And that should be okay. I guess for the extra spots, we can give some experience to Death Blow. May as well give some experience to Sense. I guess Sense again. And Sensibility. And let's do Ramu. Ramu did as well. Alright, can level a whole bunch of things on her. And again, Eris is a good character. We haven't used her for a while. Then see you later. But her healing limit break is quite nice, right? It's not going to be the most incredible damage output, but it's quite a powerful effect, right? Every time Eris takes much damage, our party gets largely healed. We can live with that. And we can finally leave the gold saucer. And I think we'll stop there for today and do the Temple of the Ancients next time. But we have a huge betrayal from Kate Sith. Turns out we have to have a Shinra Flak in our party, which is pretty much a bummer. And we will be headed for the Temple of the Ancients, which, as the name suggests, is a pretty important major place. I tend to remember, or at least as a kid, I always got thought that like the Temple of the Ancients was the end of Disc One. There's a whole lot packed on Disc One in this game, and it feels like a really dramatic natural endpoint to Disc One. But in the end, they have an even more kind of like important place for the end of Disc One, which is kind of remarkable. That said, I think we will get back to the tiny Bronco, so at least I like know where I'm going next time. Because, and we're gonna fast forward because transportation is not the key part of this game. But just so I know what I'm doing for next time, we can probably kill this quicker than running. Yeah, that fast forward. This is one of the reasons I'm playing PS1 rather than PS2, because the recording stuff really slows down my computer, and it can still run PS1 at like full speed or close enough, and can still do things like fast forward it to faster than full speed, like as you can see here. So nice to have. I wonder if what manipulate does on these. Accelerate this. Grand punch. I shouldn't make it kill itself though, because me killing it will help level up my limit breaks. So if I have a kill, I was thinking it'd be fun to have it kill itself, but that sadistic thought is not necessary here. So yeah, I'm excited for the Temple of the Ancients. It's one of the most visually creative dungeons in the game. There's really big events there, and it's the most kind of memorable moment in the game between since Midgar. I think that's fair to say. All right, because we got the back attack or the side attack, I may as well take advantage. And we're gonna have Tifa the same one Eris hit because Eris will turn it around. Interesting. Do you think Oops. I was gonna ask, do you think Healing Wind will heal both parts of my party? I bet it only heals Eris here. Yeah, that's interesting. That it's not locked in everyone. It depends. That was a foolish move by the enemy. Turn around from the next one attacking it. And Eris's Fury, because Fury Bomber put Fury on her. We also get a hyper from that. It is interesting how many of the enemies just random attacks can add either Fury or Sadness. And I think, again, that makes. What way am I going? I think that makes sense as a gameplay decision because if you didn't realize those stats on your own, by forcing them on you as a regular part of gameplay, you will figure out how they work and maybe realize that hypers, for instance, can add fury if you want fury, or tranquilizers can add sadness if you want sadness. It does seem quicker to just fight these things than to run away, given that they die in 2 hits. Or in just one Tifa turn and one Tifa counter. I really like the counterattack materia. Much later in the game, you get a counter materia, which can, when hit with stuff, counter with a attached command or like spell. So you could set it so like in reaction to getting hit, you get to cast fire on them or something like that. It's a nice effect. All right, we're back on the tiny Bronco. Oh, I should save, um, and we will quit here. Cheers.